Adam and Eve were free. They belonged to the Lord. But when Satan tricked them into disobeying God, they not only fell from grace, but they belong to the devil now. Sin made them captive to the devil. He stole them from God. But when they fell, Adam had dominion over the world. He was given the world that God created, the whole garden, the whole world. He named all the animals. The world was created for Adam, for mankind to live in and enjoy with God. And God pretty much told Adam, you have free reign, except don't touch that one tree. That's mine. But everything else, you could do whatever you want. And considering they were pure and holy like God and had no sin in them, he didn't have to worry about them having rules and stuff, because they didn't know what evil was, so they would never have a dirty, evil thought, a perverted thought. They would never do anything wrong anyway. God can trust them to run amok around the world if they want to, do whatever they want, because they would never harm anyone. They would never harm each other. There was no impurity. There was no sin. There was no nothing. So we didn't need rules and laws and commandments. The only law there was, the only commandment was, don't touch that tree. Do not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. That belongs to the Lord. That's it. Other than that, do whatever you want. Go wherever you want. Nobody cares. God knows where you are at all times. He's not worried. He wants you to enjoy this world. Build it up and enjoy it. Name the animals. Take care of. Be a good steward of my planet. Prosper. Procreate and make more children. Populate the earth. But Satan, when he got Adam and Eve to sin, Adam basically lost the world. He was responsible. He was given dominion over the earth. Okay? He was the steward of the earth. That became Satan's. Adam forfeited his birthright. He forfeited his dominion over the earth. So basically, Satan not only stole Adam and Eve from God, but he stole the earth. That's why, basically, Satan became the god of this world and the prince of the air when Adam fell from grace. When Adam sinned, Satan was able to steal the whole world from mankind. Not only our souls, but the world. And then Jesus had to come down and do what he did to get us back. And then, when he comes back the second time, he's going to take the whole world back from Satan. But now Satan he's like a bad tenant. You give him a brand new apartment. I used to work for a housing authority and stuff, so I can tell you there were people who did not deserve it, by the way. Depending on your income, which was all based on lies, and we had to approve everyone anywhere, otherwise we were racist and keeping the man down. These people come in there, gel nails, diamond-crusted phones, Rolexes, BMWs, and, I ain't got no money. You smell like marijuana. I got no money. You got no money, but you got that car, you got those nails, you got that weave, you got that phone, 2 phones. Oh, you got, diamonds, gold chains, no money to pay for that rent, right? So when I applied, it was going to be $2,000 minimum, $2,000 to $4,000 a month for those brand new luxury apartments that we were giving to people on welfare. But if you were, and I'm not trying to be racist, I'm telling you the truth, if you were black and if you were considered poor or on welfare, didn't have a job, you got a $2,000 to $4,000 a month brand new apartment for free. And if not for free, $100, $200 a month in a secured, gated community. Beautiful. Like as if you lived in like the wealthiest part of Madison, but you were like on welfare. Made me sick to have to approve these people, and they gave me attitude. And so anyway, do you know what they did to these apartments? Because they didn't have to work a day for it. You'd give them a brand new state-of-the-art, gorgeous, fully furnished, beautiful apartment. Within a month or two, the very least by the end of the year, when it was time to renew, we'd have to go into these units and inspect them. There were holes in the walls, cigarette burns in everything. They stunk like marijuana and feces. There were rats and roaches. They destroyed these apartments. Destroyed. Now, personally, even if I lived in a cardboard box, it would be the nicest, cleanest, most organized box on the block. I don't know why people, if I got a free luxury apartment, I would take care of it. Just because I didn't buy it or pay for it myself doesn't mean I'd be even more grateful. And I'd have even more time to take care of it because I'm not having to work to pay for it. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know why a lot of these people, and I'm not talking about racism here. I'm not being racist. I'm just telling you, this is a fact. I also worked in real estate. I've also been a property manager. I've been a leasing agent. I've run these places. I know what I'm talking about. So call me a racist, call me whatever you want. I don't care. I'm telling you the truth. When you give people stuff for free, most of the time they don't appreciate it and they destroy it. And I don't know why you would you come out of the ghetto, come off the streets and get a beautiful chance at life and a gorgeous luxury apartment. Donna and I don't even have something that nice.
Is that because of the oldest?
What?
Those people feel like you owe me.
Yeah, they feel that we owe them, like the man owes them or whatever. But no, or they don't even pay taxes because they don't work. So they don't even put much tax dollars into it. But anyway, the point is they destroy it. These places are filthy. You have to go in there with a mask on. It's disgusting. And then they have the nerve to come over here. My plumbing broke. My toilet's leaking all of this place is dirty. This is not suitable conditions for me to be living in. Well, it wasn't like that when I leased it to you. Now, you did that. And now, you want us to come and fix it for free. Get maintenance over here. I've been waiting a month. My door's off the hinge. I got a hole in my wall. Well, who put the hole in the wall? This carpet's disgusting. There's burn marks all over it from your cigarettes. That wasn't like that when you moved in here. So, so they'd come down there and give me a hard time every day. And I'm like, oh my God, I quit. I hated that job. I'm like, I am done. And because I was the only white person in that office, I was treated like garbage. And then all the tenants were black and Hispanic, and they would come in there and start immediately yelling at me, talking down. And I'm like, whoa. Get out of here and come back in with a better attitude. Don't come in here like that. I have not had enough coffee yet this morning to deal with you first thing in the morning. Are you kidding me? I don't even live in these nice apartments. I live in a rundown trailer park. Give me a break. And I got to come here and deal with you. I don't have a brand new BMW and a gold-crusted phone and gold chains hanging, gold teeth. Get out of here. Oh, it gets me so mad. So you know what? That's why Donald Trump is trying to do what he's doing. He's like, enough of this abuse. We don't owe anybody anything, especially this generation. You weren't slaves. We're all slaves. So get over it. Get a job like everybody else. Are you kidding me? And so you give people stuff that they don't appreciate, they don't deserve, and then they make you sorry because they destroy it. I'm not saying everybody, but 90%, and I'm not kidding you, 90%. We're like that. Why? So, I don't know what's wrong with society. I know what's wrong with it. The point is, why did I bring that up? Because these people, listen, I don't know any real Christian or Catholic who does that. I don't know any real Catholic or Christian who's not grateful to God for what they have and takes good care of it, okay? Because it's a blessing from God and because your home is your sanctuary and the Lord has to dwell in it with you. And if Jesus was going to be in your home, do you really want the Holy of Holies in your filthy, disgusting place? Well, so you act that way because you're a child of the devil. You act like him. You're lawless, you're selfish, you're rude, you're disgusting and vile because you're not a Christian. And so that's why you are the way that you are. And so you think like the devil, act like the devil, live like the devil. You've turned your apartment or home into hell. Literally, hell is disgusting and vile and filthy. All right? You're the opposite of holiness, and, cleanliness is next to godliness, as they say. So the point is, Satan did to this world intentionally, basically, to sabotage it, to vandalize it, God's beautiful creation, so that nobody could enjoy it. But Satan did to this planet what a lot of these people in welfare and subsidized housing do to these luxury apartments when they're in time to have it, their waiting list is up and they get a brand new luxury apartment for free, and then they destroy it. And you go back in there and you gotta spend thousands in repairs to be able to rent it out to someone else. And then we have to evict you, and it takes a long eviction process because once they're in, it's like trying to get a tick off of you. They're dug so deep you can't pull them out. Well, basically the devil did that to the world. He's destroyed our souls, our health, our bodies, because he knows that these are supposed to be the temple of the Holy Spirit, so he does everything he can to defile the temple and our soul and our mind, and poison us with chemtrails and poisons in the food and bad diets. He doesn't sleep. He's got nothing but time to just work on strategies to destroy all that is holy or meant to be, all that God created. So that God has no choice but to throw most of his children into hell. And when God returns, when Jesus returns, it's going to be by fire. He has to give us a new heaven and a new earth. The old heaven and old earth will pass away by fire. He's got to purify everything by fire. If you're lucky enough to be saved, one of the few being saved, through purgatory fire, which is pretty much hellfire, but not forever, but it's just as bad, you have to be like purified before you can enter heaven. And it's a very painful, burning process. And when Jesus puts his heaven on earth, the kingdom of heaven merges on the earth, he ain't going to put his holy kingdom on a filthy, defiled earth. He's going to clean it up and burn it and send his angels to clean it up, like a hazmat cleanup. And then we can have heaven on earth. And the whole world will be one with God, and it'll be heaven on earth will be one. And you'll be able to come and go in and out of the kingdom and enjoy God's beautiful earth. It will be restored back to the way it was before the fall of man. It's going to be a gorgeous, beautiful Garden of Eden / heaven. And everything comes full circle 180, and it's restored. But the process now, the devil has basically... he's like a squatter with squatter's rights. He basically hijacked mankind, hijacked our planet, and then defiled it, destroyed it. He didn't create it. He didn't have to earn it or work for it, and he can't have it. And so he's like, well, if I can't have... It's like there was these neighbors we had one time. The bank, they were under foreclosure. They didn't pay their bills, right? So they went and got it in their head that, hey, you know what? If I have to be displaced from my home, I'm not going to let the bank just be able to sell it to someone else and have them enjoy my home. So they went and they destroyed the house. They ripped out all the toilets, the plumbing, the wiring. They put holes in the walls. The floor. It was destroyed. They figured, hey, since we're being kicked out of our home and it's going into foreclosure, then nobody else is going to be able to enjoy it either. And if the bank wants to do this, then the bank can pay $200,000 to repair it first. They're not going to just steal my beautiful home from me, put me on the street, and then be able to flip my place. So they destroyed it. Then I found out. Hold on. You okay?
Yeah.
Then I found out that the same people who went into foreclosure, this house was like 5 doors down from my parents' house in a nice neighborhood. They had another family member be the one to buy it. But their plan was, if we can't get it back, well then nobody gets to enjoy it, and the bank's gonna pay. They're gonna have to pay a lot of money to make this thing sellable. But if it's destroyed, then I can have my family member or friend go and purchase it for real cheap as a fixer-upper now. So the bank gets screwed and they can't sell it for full market value. And now my friend will get it for real dirt cheap, okay? And then it'll be paid off, no more mortgage, paid off dirt cheap, and then he buys it back from his friend and fixes it up. And that's what they did. They ended up getting their house back in a very illegal, dishonest, unethical way. But yeah, they did a lot of damage so that nobody wanted it. And so the bank didn't want it and couldn't make much money off of it. So basically they got out of the mortgage that they couldn't afford. And then got the same house back for a lot less. And then fixed it up at their leisure. And I believe they may have even owned their own like construction company or whatever, so it wasn't hard for them to fix it up real quick again. Anyway, what's the point? Sometimes people or the devil will go and say, well, if I can't have it, no one can. And they will destroy. So he's been a thorn in God and mankind's side ever since he got kicked out of heaven. And he's like, well, if I have to burn in hell, then everybody else should have to burn in hell with me too, and I'll make sure of that. And if I have to be made from the most beautiful angel there is to this disgusting being, then I'm going to take your precious little beautiful humans that were made in your image and likeness, and I'm going to do everything I can to defile them and make them look like a demon, and make them pierce themselves and tattoo themselves and color their hair different colors and do all kinds of disgusting and trans themselves and destroy themselves and defile themselves and eat unhealthy food. I'm going to make them so disgusting from the inside out and the top down, body, mind, and soul, that God's not going to be able to have them back. He can't even let them into his kingdom like that. And if he should be able to somehow salvage some of them, they will have to suffer hell anyway in purgatory before they get to be restored and go to heaven. So if I can't destroy them and torture them in hell forever, I will torture them on earth as long as I can, in any way I can, and then I will have them have to go to purgatory for an awful long time, so they will never escape the torments of fires of hell. And then eventually, they may make it to heaven, but they're going to go through immense suffering. And I'm going to make sure that I do anything I can to defile the image and likeness of God. And that's why mankind is the way it is now. All this is just coming to me now. I've never even really thought about any of this until tonight. But it makes perfect sense. The devil is a spiteful person, and he will do whatever he can, and even if he loses your soul, he's going to make sure that you go to heaven all banged up, marred up, stressed out, sick, defiled, whatever, broken. He's going to do just like he did to Jesus. Look what he did to Jesus during his passion. The scourgings, ripping his flesh from bones and tacking him to a cross, kicking, spitting, nails through him, a lance through his heart, crown of thorns, 3 of them mortal, went right through his skull. I mean, look what he did to him. So he's like, listen, I might not be able to get your soul. I might not be able to win, but I'm going to do as much damage to you and make you suffer as much as possible while I can. And your precious little humans. And if you want them back, that's going to be the cost. Because only you can pay for them with your blood. No one else can save themselves. You have to save them, which means you have to do this. And so Satan is doing whatever he can to God and to us and to God's creation to defile it and harm it and distort it and make it ugly and torn apart. Basically hell on earth. And making us, while we're still walking on the earth, trying to get to heaven, be as pretty much like 1 foot in hell. Like, destroy us the way we'd be destroyed in hell. Disfigure us the way we'd be disfigured when God decides you are going to hell. You're going to be ugly when you go to hell. You're not going to be in the image and likeness of God really anymore. You're not going to have your health, your beauty, your youth. You're going to be a hideous looking creature. And then while you're down there in 4,000 degree heat, your flesh is just going to keep melting off of you anyway. And it's going to keep regenerating and burning and regenerating and burning. Oh, it's like this never ending cycle of horror. And the devil laughs. And even if he's chained in and going through the same suffering towards the end, it's totally game over. Even if he is also just going to be in the same lake of fire as everyone else, he's always going to know that he still inflicted incredible damage and suffering while he could. It's just sick.